Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's press conference. First, I'll release two pieces of information. At the invitation of Prime Minister Lawrence Wong of the Republic of Singapore, Premier Li Qiang of the State Council will pay an official visit to Singapore on October the 25th and 26th. At the invitation of Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim of Malaysia, the ASEAN's rotating chair, Premier Li Qiang of the State Council will attend the 28th China-ASEAN Summit, the 28th ASEAN Plus 3 Summit, the 20th East Asia Summit, and the 5th Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Leaders Meeting in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia on October the 27th and 28th. On October the 27th, the Lanting Forum on Improving Global Governance to Build a Community with a Shared Future for Humanity will be hosted in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi will attend and address the opening ceremony. At the forum, high-level representatives and renowned experts and scholars from various sectors in China and other countries, diplomatic envoys and representatives of international organizations in China will have an in-depth exchange of views on the profound meaning of global governance initiative and practical pathways towards it. Now the floor is open. China released the information on President Xi Jinping's attending of the 32nd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting. Could you share with us more information? APEC is the most important economic cooperation mechanism in the Asia-Pacific. President Xi Jinping attending the 32nd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting demonstrates the great importance that China attaches to economic cooperation in the Asia-Pacific. President Xi Jinping will deliver an important speech at the meeting and have bilateral meetings with leaders from relevant countries. China stands ready to work with all parties to contribute to cooperation and economic growth in the Asia-Pacific and jointly build an Asia-Pacific community with a shared future. Next one, please. President Xi Jinping is to pay a state visit to the ROK. Could you share with us China's expectation of its relations with the ROK? China and the ROK are each other's close neighbors and cooperation partners. China attaches great importance to its relations with the ROK, and our policy on the ROK maintains consistency and continuity. This will be President Xi Jinping's second state visit to the ROK in 11 years. This will also be the first meeting between leaders of the two countries after President Li Qiang took office. China stands ready to work with the ROK to cherish the commitment made when establishing diplomatic ties, uphold good neighborliness and friendly ties, work for mutual benefit, and move forward the strategic cooperative partnership on a sound and steady track. Next one, please.
CCTV. To follow up on Premier Li Qiang's official visit to Singapore, what's China's comment on its relations with Singapore and what's China's expectation for the visit? China and Singapore are friendly neighbors and important cooperation partners. The two countries established the all-round, high-quality, future-oriented partnership in 2023. This year marks the 35th anniversary of China-Singapore diplomatic ties. The bilateral relations have continued to grow steadily with the concerted efforts of both sides. In June this year, President Xi Jinping met with visiting Prime Minister of Singapore, Lawrence Wong, providing strategic guidance for the development of the bilateral relations in the next stage. China hopes to work with Singapore through the visit to further synergize development strategies, deepen cooperation in various fields, have close communication and cooperation on international and regional affairs, and jointly uphold multilateralism and free trade so as to achieve new developments of the bilateral relations and make greater contribution to regional and global peace and prosperity. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人。
China News Service, you just announced that Premier Li Qiang will attend the leaders' meetings on East Asian cooperation. How does China view the current East Asian cooperation, and what is China's expectation for the meetings? East Asia is one of the regions with the greatest dynamism and potential in the world. The ASEAN-led East Asian cooperation plays an important role for promoting dialogue and cooperation among participating parties and safeguarding regional stability. Amid the complex transformation of international and regional situation, sluggish global economic growth, and rising unilateralism and protectionism, East Asian cooperation faces some complex factors. Against this backdrop, regional countries aspire more for stability, cooperation, and development, and East Asian cooperation is all the more relevant today. China always regards ASEAN as a priority in its neighborhood diplomacy. China supports the theme of inclusivity and sustainability set by ASEAN's rotating chair Malaysia. China looks to working with ASEAN and regional countries to discuss plans for cooperation and development, honor our original commitments, build up consensus, enhance true multilateralism, and uphold free trade and the multilateral trading system. We will work to build the China-ASEAN Free Trade Area 3.0 and ensure the high-quality implementation of the RCEP. We will also carry forward the Asian values of peace, cooperation, openness, and inclusiveness, build a peaceful, safe, and secure, prosperous, beautiful, and amicable home, and provide more stability and certainty to the region and beyond. Next one, please.
The fourth plenary session of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China was closed yesterday and adopted a communique. The session received extensive attention worldwide. Foreign media commented that during the 14th five-year plan period, overcoming various risks and challenges, China has achieved remarkable socio-economic development. And China is committed to building a great modern socialist country. Can I have your comment on that? China is committed to advancing high-quality development and fostering new quality productive forces. During the 14th five-year plan period, China has seen its GDP surpassing 130 trillion yuan and breakthroughs in such emerging industries as AI and new energy. The world's factory has become the global innovation powerhouse. China is committed to high standard opening up. China further shortened the negative list for foreign investment, and its overall tariff level has been cut to 7.3%. We forged high-quality Belt and Road cooperation ties with more than 150 countries and over 30 international organizations. China's contribution to global economic growth has stood at around 30%, making it a key driver and source of growth for global development. The fourth plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee successfully concluded yesterday. One of the important outcomes is that the session deliberated over and adopted the recommendations for formulating the 15th five-year plan, sending out the message that the consistency of China's policy and its steady economic growth and development prospect provide valuable certainty to this volatile world. Looking forward, China, a confident and open country, will share opportunities and pursue common development with countries around the world, advocate an equal and orderly multipolar world and a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization, and promote the building of a community with a shared future for humanity. Next one, please. German Foreign Minister John Wadepool told he will visit China on October the 26th. This is his first visit to China as foreign minister. He said that the German government wished to maintain close economic and trade relations with China, and decoupling is not the right strategy. What's your comment? We noted the relevant statement. China and Germany are comprehensive strategic partners. Over the past 53 years, China-German relations have maintained stable development. Currently, the world is volatile as major countries and world major economies. the two countries should set an example for shaping new major country relations, uphold the principles of mutual respect, equal treatment, and win-win cooperation, contribute more to the building of a community with a shared future for humanity. This is the shared aspiration of the two peoples. Due to differences in histories, cultures, social systems, and development stages, it is normal for the two sides to have different opinions. The two sides should maintain candid communication. It is hoped that Germany will have an objective and fair perception of China, actively view and develop bilateral relations, and ensure the bilateral relations to proceed along the right track and benefit the two countries and the world.
Minister,
日本的新首相高市早苗今天表示，他将确保日本防卫支出占 GDP 的2%。中国、朝鲜和俄罗斯是日方的主要关切。中方对高市早苗的言论有何回应？
Yesterday, I've already answered the relevant question. I would like to stress that on security and peace, China has the best record. In contrast, Japan is addressing its policies and pursue more military development. The international community and us and Asian neighbors are having questions on whether Japan is truly wants to defend peaceful development. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. We urge Japan to reflect deep on its history of aggression, to maintain trust among Asian neighbors and international community. Next one, please.
国家主席习近平将于30
You just announced that President Xi Jinping will visit the ROK and attend the 32nd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting. I would like to know that whether President Xi will meet with President Trump. China and the U.S. are maintaining close communications in this regard, and China will release relevant information in due course. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人。湖北广电记者提。
Recently, a delegation of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation visited Xinjiang. Could you share more details with us? This year marks the 70th anniversary of the founding of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Invited by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a delegation of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation visited Xinjiang from October the 19th to 21st. They visited an achievement exhibition in commemoration of the anniversary. Xinjiang University, the Xinjiang Islamic Institute, the Xinjiang Museum, and the Xinjiang Software Park. They also engaged with a local community and had an in-depth exchange of views with people of different ethnic groups. The head of the autonomous region met with the delegation. The delegation said that Xinjiang has taken on a fresh look and scored remarkable achievements over the past 70 years, and people of different ethnic groups live a life of happiness and prosperity. These are success stories of China's modernization, which demonstrate the Chinese government's people-centered vision of development. Members of the delegation noted that cooperation and mutual trust is the defining feature of the relations between China and Islamic states. They look forward to more cooperation in trade and technology and people-to-people and cultural exchanges. China will continue to actively move forward its friendly ties with Islamic states and the OIC for more achievements in cooperation. China also sincerely welcomes more friends to visit Xinjiang. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人。环球时报记者提问：我们注意到。
Global Times, we noted China exposed the case about the U.S. National Security Agency carrying out cyber attacks and infiltration against China's National Time Service Center. The National Computer Network Emergency Response Coordination Center released a technical analysis report about the case, which lay out facts about the U.S.'s cyber attacks. What's the Foreign Ministry's comment? China strongly condemns the U.S. government carrying out cyber attacks and infiltration against China's key infrastructure and presetting vulnerabilities for future large-scale sabotage activities. According to reports of a Chinese cybersecurity institution, the so-called Voss typhoon that the U.S. once blamed on China is actually a transnational ransomware group. The recently released case shows to the world what is a real Voss typhoon operation, and once again proves that the U.S. is the world's #1 source of cyber attacks. These moves of the U.S. government can easily cause misunderstanding and miscalculation and are highly irresponsible. China urges the U.S. to stop cyber attacks on China's key infrastructure at once. We will take all measures necessary to safeguard China's sovereignty and security in the cyberspace. Next one, please. 法新社，中国的张志东已经被古巴引渡至美国，他参与芬太尼贩运，中方对此案有何评论？
I'm not familiar with what you mentioned. On counter narcotics, our position is consistent. Next one, please.
谢谢。NHK 记者提问。
NHK is reported that the Japanese new Prime Minister, after she took office, Chinese Premier Li Qiang has sent a congratulatory message. Yesterday, you responded to a similar question that China made a response according to diplomatic routine. Can you confirm that? And previously, China usually released information about the congratulatory message. Why did not China release the information this time?
As you just mentioned, I've already answered the relevant question. I would like to stress that China has made proper arrangements according to usual diplomatic practices. And our position on developing China-Japan relations is consistent and clear. We hope that Japan will continue to uphold the principles of the 4 political documents and uphold the political foundation of the bilateral relations to develop the bilateral relations. Next one, please.
Thank you, spokesperson. Ukraine News.
乌通社，昨天乌克兰总统泽连斯基在布鲁塞尔举行的记者会上表示，乌克兰和中国领导人之间没有永久性对话，中国向俄罗斯提供援助，这使得俄罗斯有能力继续对乌克兰发动侵略战争。外交部对此有何回应？
On the Ukraine crisis, China always decide its position according to the merits of the matter. We always promote ceasefire and peace talks, and our efforts is recognized by the international community. We will continue to stand on the right side of peace and dialogue, promote the de-escalation of the situation, and play a constructive role in promoting the political settlement of the crisis.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
From AFP.
法新社，中国大陆和印度在本周日和周一将恢复直航，中方能否提供评论，并且评论一下中印关系？
China's inland and India to resume direct flights is the latest move to implement the common understandings of the two heads of state, and it is also an active move to implement the aspirations of the two peoples. China will handle China-India relations from the strategic and long-term perspective, promote the stable, sound, and continuous development of the bilateral relations, and contribute to peace and prosperity of Asia and the world. Next one, please.
谢凡人，北京青年报记者提问，还是关于德国外长瓦德福尔的。他在接受路透社采访的时候还。
According to Reuters, German foreign minister also said in the interview that our One China policy continues unchanged and we decide on its design. This also includes that there must be no violent change of the status quo. Can I have your comment on that? There is but one China in the world, and Taiwan is part of China. The government of the People's Republic of China is the sole legal government representing the whole of China. This is the only correct statement, and there is no room for other definition. Currently, the largest threat is the Taiwan independence forces and the interference of external forces. To maintain peace across the Taiwan Strait, we need to oppose the Taiwan independent separatist forces. This is conniving at the Taiwan independent forces not to mention it. We urge Germany to oppose any act of Taiwan independent separatism. Next one, please.
NHK 记者提问，
NHK President Xi Jinping will visit the ROK. Will he meet with the Japanese Prime Minister?
China just introduced that President Xi Jinping will go to the ROK to attend the 32nd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting and have a state visit to the ROK. As for the specifics, we will release relevant information in due course. Next one, please. Any other questions? This is the end of today's press conference. Thank you all for coming.